Well, I'd love to stay longer, Jinx, but I have to meet Mike in half an hour.
Well, you've already given me so much of your time, and I'm very grateful.
Oh, please, it's been my pleasure. I don't think the alterations on that dress are going to take more than a few minutes.
Yeah, now I have a place to show it off besides the wedding chapel.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so happy that Nicole offered her house for the reception.
Yes. Oh, now you are going to start with the invitations. Oh, and you remember the promise you made.
Oh, yes, I will be in touch with my father. I'm sure he won't come, but then he can't say that I never asked him.
Jinx, even if he doesn't come, I know that you're going to be very, very happy. Okay? Bye-bye.
Thank you. Nancy's right. Nothing can wreck my happiness.
All right, now what important information do you have to tell me about Jinx Avery?
You have to understand something. I really feel terrible about having to do this. I really had to wrestle with my conscience about it.
Yes, well, if the wrestling match is over, please tell me what's on your mind.
The point is, what they're trying to do to you is so unfair. They should have wrestled with their consciences a little bit more, if you ask me.
Now, wait a minute. Who is they?
I work for Mrs. Kavanaugh, as you know, as her executive assistant. I can't help but overhear things.
Is this going to be a gossip report?
You have to promise me that you won't tell them where you heard this. I think what the Kavanaughs are doing is wrong, but I like them, and I don't want to lose my job.
All right, listen, I'm losing my patience. Now, will you please get to the point?
First, you have to promise me.
I'm not promising you a damn thing.
Very well, I won't say another word. Find out somewhere else about your fiancé's illness.
Wait a minute. What are you talking about, her illness?
Ask her yourself. Or ask your good friend, the doctor. Don't you see I'm trying to do something decent for you? Find out how ill she is before your wedding. Before you suffer a lot of heartache.
To wear this. I mean, it is black.
No, I don't think it's quite appropriate, dear.
But this dress is so plain.
Well, all right then, you decide. Raven, we really should be going. The service is scheduled for 2 o'clock.
Yes, I know, but no one will be there except for us. And it would be only me if you hadn't come here, and I really do appreciate it.
My place is right here with you. I would have gone to the service in any case. After all, he was my family, too.
Thank you.
Ready to leave, ladies?
Yes, let's go.
I'll bring the car.
Good morning, Spencer.
I hardly think this is the right time for police call, Detective.
That's not what this is.
Oh, why are you here?
Oh, well, forgive the intrusion. I thought you might be able to use a rather unofficial police escort to the chapel.
An escort?
Yes, well, there are bound to be crowds, press and the like. We thought you might need some protection, someone to run interference for you.
That's very kind of you, Calvin. Don't you agree?
Yes. Tell me, Calvin, was it Damien Tyler's idea?
Yes, as a matter of fact, it was. It might be best if I drive. They'll surely be looking out for your car.
Yes, that's very sensible.
Spencer, why don't you just wait here and we'll go with Mr. Stoner? I really don't want to deal with all those crowds.
Yes, ma'am. If it's all right with you, I'll make some inquiries about the domestic help.
Okay, great. Let's get this over with.
Ladies.
Pardon me, Mrs. Whitney.
I'm not Mrs. Whitney.
But the theme is true. There's a blood test the police can give you to prove that you just fired a gun.
Cliff, that isn't the theme of the play. It's a gimmick, a theatrical device. The theme of the play is parental love. Look, here's a father who is so determined to save his son that he'll do anything at all.
Listen, you guys. Does this last scene have to be so brutal?
Yes, it does. It's the big ending, Jody. You don't like it.
No, don't get me wrong, Cliff. I really like Trial by Blood, but it's got big problems.
Yeah, it's got big problems, all right. It's got big, expensive sets. That's the problem. I was able to locate a property house out on Culver Road. They used to work for the old Madison studio. That's a defunct movie firm, used to be in town. And they haven't been doing much business lately, so I might be able to get a deal on
I believe you guys. Here you are, you keep talking about props and themes and all these other things, and you don't even have a theater.
I've been working on that, too. The one that I think would be best is the Whitney Theater. It's the newest. I wonder how much it'd rent for.
Who knows? But it is the only possible place. With the worst possible landlord, Raven Whitney.
You know, maybe Sky turned that over to some kind of real estate management company.
Well, the only way to find that out, thanks, Frank, we're gonna have to talk to Raven.
You can do that, Cliff. I know that she wouldn't give me the time of day.
We are going to see her, though. I mean, don't forget, Miles and Nicole asked us to.
Oh, Valerie, just the person I want to see. Come on, we were just talking about the maskers.
Well, go right ahead. I just have time to grab a quick bite, and I have to get right back to work.
Oh, we were almost through ourselves. Sit down, though.
Gavin, I'm not in very good company today.
Oh, come on. This is a kind of a celebration. Haven't you heard? Gavin has been completely exonerated, and there isn't going to be any trial.
That's right, I did hear that, and I was so happy for the two of you.
Your boyfriend, Jim, is happy, too. We've got a play. Here, and there's a great part for you.
Yeah, it's his girlfriend of this guy is accused of murder. Now, the part has problems, but with revisions, I think we can make it with a lot of depth.
Jody should play that part. You'd be much better than I would.
Valerie, you're perfect for the part.
No, I can't. I've gotten really busy at work, and I think I'm going to have to drop out of the group.
You're what?
I'm not going to Jim's anymore.
Why not?
Business has really picked up, and I'm
Wait a
just
minute, hold
too
it.
busy.
Valerie, here. Sit down. Level with us. Valerie, have you and Jim had a fight?
It's a little more than that. I don't care if I ever see him again. He's not the man that I thought he was. I mean that literally.
Val, are you talking about Switzerland?
Can we talk about it later? Okay?
Sure.
Valerie.
I'm sorry.
Do you think that's what she meant? That Jim Dietrichson's a phony?
Well, if he's a phony, there goes our career in show business. I'm gonna go cheer up Valerie.
To that show without careful consideration, but when there is an important news story. Yes, you are perfectly within your rights to write to the FCC. If you want, I will send you the address and then you can write to them yourself. Yes, thank you. Goodbye. An indignant viewer.
Oh, I'm sure you don't get many of those.
Oh, yes, I do. It seems like half this job is dealing with one crisis or another.
Well, now, don't let it get you down. Come on. Look a little bit depressed. You sure you want to go?
No, I don't want to go, but I guess we should go.
We should get started then. Let's go.
Wait, Miles, I have to tell you something. Well, I talked to Jinx this morning, and I probably should have asked you first, but I made a suggestion. I just had this impulse, and I went with it.
What'd you do?
Well, I asked her if she and Derek would like to have their wedding reception at our house.
You did that?
Yes, well, it just suddenly occurred to me they didn't have any place to have it. And Nancy had told me that Jinx didn't want Derek to spend any money on the wedding, and, well, it just seemed so logical.
And very nice.
Well, we have so much room, and Derek is your good friend, and I just wanted to do something for them, for her, because I just feel like I've acted so shabbily towards her.
No, you haven't. You've acted like the terrific lady you are.
No, that's not true. You're just saying that. You know that I've been jealous of her. Even when I knew that she was dying, it didn't stop the pain, but... Honey, I promise that's all over with now.
No promise is necessary. Thank you for your thoughtfulness.
You're not angry with me?
No.
And the idea's all right, and you don't mind that I didn't check with you first?
You know I would approve that idea. I think it's terrific. It's like I think you're a terrific lady.
No. I'm not that terrific. Believe me.
No, why should I be angry? You can say yes or no to a marriage proposal. After all, it is your life.
Yes, it is my life. But I just couldn't leave it at that, Derek. I had to come over here. I feel so good in this room because it's yours. I don't want to leave, Derek.
I think you better leave. I'll get my coat, dry you.
What I meant was, I don't ever want to leave it. Don't worry. I'm not asking you the same question about living with me. My intentions are honorable. I want to make an honest police chief of you.
And what do you mean by that?
If you still want to marry me, Derek Mallory, I want to marry you.
Oh, Jinx.
Oh, honey. Dear Daddy, don't worry. I'm not writing to ask you for money. I'm not even writing to complain about your refusal to buy me that fur coat I charged on your account. You were absolutely right about that, Daddy. The color was all wrong for me. No, I'm writing to tell you some news and to ask you to come to a wedding. You know all about weddings, of course. You're an expert. You've been to 3 of your own. Well, now's a chance to come to your daughter's wedding. Her first. Her only. Her last. Derek, what a surprise. You came at just the right time. You can help me rewrite this letter. Everything I write sounds so nasty. What are you doing here in the middle of the afternoon?
I don't think I could have gotten through this day if I didn't come here to see you.
Are you sure that's what it is? Are you sure? Come on now, Big Chief. I know there's something wrong. What is it?
It's nothing, honey. It's honest. I just wanted to see your face and to make you happy.
Well, of course it does. But I know how you are with that desk of yours, and it takes 3 policemen to drag you away from it at the end of the day, let alone in the middle of the afternoon.
It was an easy day today so far. I just thought it might be nice to come over and talk to you a little bit. We just never seem to have enough time to talk about each other, you know.
We'll have plenty of time for that. At least enough time. Come on, what's wrong? I can tell there's something wrong.
Tell me about this illness you had.
My illness? Why do you bring that up?
It's just going through my mind a few times lately, that's all.
I thought that we already covered that subject.
I suppose we did. You just told me that it was a temporary case of hypertension from overwork or something.
Well, look, if we've already been through the whole thing, why do you bring it up again?
No particular reason, I suppose.
Have you been talking to Miles?
Honey, I don't know why. It's just gotten into me lately. I love you so much, and I want everything to be so right that I was thinking, what do you think before the wedding it's a good idea to have a checkup?
No, I don't think that's a very good idea. I have a lot of things to do before the wedding.
Why are you getting sore at me?
Well, look, I don't recall asking you about your last checkup or about your dental records or anything like that.
Sorry, honey, don't be sore at me. I didn't mean anything by it. I just thought that, forget about it. Forget about the checkup, honey. Maybe it'll be enough that we get a blood test.
What?
Blood test. Gotta have a blood test before you can get a marriage license. You know, it's standard procedure. What's the matter, Jinx?
Nothing.
Well, there's something the matter. Come on, tell me. For crying out loud, you're shaking like a leaf.
No, I'm all right.
Why don't you want to get a blood test?
It's the needles. I'm scared to death of needles. I'm squeamish, that's all it is. Hey, look, why don't you use that famous cloud of yours at City Hall and get it waved this once?
Honey, if you were sick, there was something wrong with you, you'd tell me about it, wouldn't you? Please.
No, there's nothing. Nothing.
If anybody wants to talk to you, that'll be fine, but just not inside.
Okay, guys, come on. This is it. She's on her way up.
We came here to express our regrets, Raven.
Oh, come on. You came here to gloat.
Please don't think that.
We're not your enemies, Raven, believe it or not.
I'm sorry, but I don't believe that. Not after what you did to me at Sid's and what you have accused my husband of.
There wasn't any conspiracy against you, Raven. We understand you're defending your husband.
We're here because we want to help.
I don't want your help.
Please.
I just want to be left alone.
Why won't you let us help you?
You don't want to help me. You just want to ruin my husband's reputation. And I'm very proud to be Mrs. Schuyler Whitney.
Think that Jinx Avery intends to marry Chief Mallory at all. I have this strange notion that she's really acting out of spite.
For heaven's sake, where on earth did you get such an idea?
I'm sorry, Mrs. Kavanaugh. I told you, I don't believe one of those rumors about your husband. I don't believe he cares 2 cents about that woman, but she's definitely after him. And she's capable of anything. Even pretending to marry someone else, hoping your husband will be jealous.
You can just stop that this minute.
You can fire me if you like, but I'm going to speak the truth here. I'm not going to be silent about it.
Shut up! You have no idea what you are talking about, you stupid woman.
It's all right. I knew you'd be angry. I knew you'd throw me out. But I care too much about...
Nora!
Do you know what they're doing right in front of you? Jinx Avery!
Nora, Jinx Avery is dying!
What did you say?
I said, Jinx Avery is dying. Now, do you think that she has time for all this nonsense you're talking about?
You don't mean that literally. The woman looks so healthy.
Well, she's not. Just as there is not anything going on between her and my husband.
But her interest in him was much more than that of a patient for a doctor.
Yes, but don't you understand why now? She has every reason to want his attention because he is her doctor. Do you understand?
Are you sure that she isn't just... No, she wouldn't be faking something.
Of course she's not faking it. She only has a few months, maybe even only a few weeks.
My God.
The Whitney residence.
How are you, darling?
What is it?
A progress report. A bulletin from the front lines. Remember how happy you were about the forthcoming nuptials? Well, I'm sorry to say there won't be any wedding.
How do you know?
Just wait and see.
Wait and see. That means you don't know anything, right? You're just going to put some of your revengeful machinery into motion.
You won't marry her, Spencer. He can't marry her. And that poor lady will have no choice but to go back to her first love.
Oh, Dr. Kavanaugh, according to you.
Of course, Mrs. Kavanaugh won't be very happy about it. Mrs. Kavanaugh will be very upset with her husband.
Read the news.
What?
You better get caught up with the latest facts concerning Gunther's death.
I've all the facts I need to have. The marriage is off, and another marriage will be on the rocks.
All right, Nora. What is it? What evil spell have you cast this time?
Careful, darling. I have a few spells that could hurt you, too.
Mrs. Whitney, shall we begin the service now?
Yes, please. Let's get it over with.
Raven.
What the hell are you doing here?
I came here for the services, Raven.
My husband is dead because of you.
Raven, that isn't true.
It is so. You're the reason my husband is dead. You murdered his reputation and you murdered my good name. Now